Good morning. Today is May the 4th of 2021, and this is our regularly scheduled monthly meeting of the Alabama Public Service Commission. For the record, the public was notified of today's meeting on March the 31st of 2021. Once again, thank you all so much for being here. I love to see all the faces that are now coming back to the commission, and we just appreciate you all being here. I'm going to ask you to please turn your phones off or your personal devices to vibrate so as not to disturb the meeting, and I'll do my best to remind you when the meeting's over to turn them back on so that you don't miss an important call. Today we have an attendance in place 1 to my right, Commissioner Jeremy H. Oden. To my left in place 2 is Commissioner Chris Chip Beaker Jr. Got tongue-tied there for a minute. I am the president, Twinkle Andress Kavanaugh. And now back on the dais, we're relaxing some of our rules, is our executive director and chief administrative law judge, John Garner, to my far right. And below is our secretary, Mr. Walter Thomas. And it's customary each month for one commissioner to get to bring in someone to offer our prayer and pledge. And this month, I think to keep from bringing anyone in, Commissioner Beaker is going to offer the prayer and the pledge for us. So if you'll join him.
Father, thank you for your blessings. Sometimes we don't see those blessings, but they are there for us. We pray for our country. We pray for our state. Father, I ask that you would help us as commissioners to do the best job that we can do here. Help us to run the Public Service Commission. Father, there's so many things that you do for us that we don't know, and thank you for all those things. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Pledge the allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now I'd just like to say it sure is nice to see my colleague, Commissioner Beaker, back on the dais. We missed him last month, and I think he can tell you that the virus was no fun. And so anyway, we are thrilled to see you back, and you look great.
Thank you.
Real quickly, let me just say that this week is Teacher Appreciation Week. And each year I try to say something about the fine job that our teachers across our state do, and remember some people that did a lot for me. And every year, Miss Gibson, my second grade teacher, makes that list. I know y'all have heard about Miss Gibson, but she no longer has the same last name, but she was just the best teacher for me, and really in the second grade made such a difference. And so I'd just like to say thank you. But I also would be remiss, my 8th grade English teacher, Miss Thigpen, and then my band director all through high school from 10th through 12th grade was Mr. Hammett. And, you know, I know all of you can look back and see someone in your life that taught you that made such a difference. And this week, just take a moment to pick up the phone and call them or send them a note, because teachers do so much for us. In fact, I'll tell a quick little story. This week, and not to embarrass him because there's somebody in the audience today, but this week the Montgomery Public School Systems put up a new website, and we happened to just come upon that and look at it. And in one of the comments, a student had taken time to talk about one of their favorite teachers, and a teacher in Montgomery that had made such a difference in their lives. And this teacher had been retired for a long time. But that teacher was Miss Julie Goolsby, Mr. Bill Goolsby's wife. And I think Miss Goolsby has been retired for probably almost a decade now. And a student took the time to write that on the website. And I thought that was really special because I know it made quite a difference when we sent that little message to Miss Goolsby. So remember your teachers. They do so much. They're not paid nearly enough for what they do, and that note of thanks is just a great payment. And one more reminder, it's Mother's Day on Sunday. Don't forget, it's the best title I have and the person I love the most, my mother. And I just miss my grandmother so much. But if your mother is still living, make sure you call her, send flowers, go see her. But don't forget it's Mother's Day on Sunday. And I'll turn it over to my colleague.
Thank you, Madam President. I do just want to say a few words, and it goes along the path of what my fellow commissioner had already started about memories and how they affect us, and especially during this time of this time of awakening, I guess is what we can say, where we have been and getting back out into the world. And so this past week, a Southern tradition, I call it a Southern tradition, I know some Northern areas do it, was our memorial at our church or at our cemetery locally. I don't know if any of y'all know what decorations are, but several of us have posted on Facebook. And so this past Sunday, I had the privilege of hosting, in honor of my mom, an old-timey singing. And so I don't know if anybody remembers what they used to term dinner on the ground, where you go out and you eat a picnic lunch, and then for 2.5 hours, somebody plays on the piano and everybody gets up and leads a song. So it was a thrill just to see everybody. And then last night on Zoom Church, it was so neat just to hear everybody talking. And that's what they were talking about, is seeing so-and-so over at the singing or seeing so-and-so at the cemetery. So as we get into this awakening, I guess is what I can call it, from our pandemic, basically just remember those memories. And you sit there and look at people you haven't seen in 6 months or 4 months. You may have talked to them on the phone or anything, but it's just good to see people personally. And I just want to thank God for that opportunity and to be able to do that. And this month, there's a lot of memorials going on, and we cap it off, I think, at the end of the month with our National Memorial Day. But it is just good to start seeing people again and experiencing that human relation that we have. And so I just wanted to mention that. Mother's Day is Sunday. It'll be a little tough for me this year, but you know, the thing that we have to live on is the memories of those who have been before us and how great they are. And so thank you, you know, and thank you for all of you workers that we have in the PSC that has done double duty at home or stayed on your computers to keep us all going and running, and we appreciate that as well. So thank you, Madam President. I won't speak anymore. So
Thank you. Commissioner? All right. Well, we sure are glad to see you.
yes, yes, we are.
I'm glad to be seen.
And next, we will move on to the approval and the adoption of the minutes. To have a motion for the minutes of our April the 6th, 2021 PSC meeting.
So move.
Second.
Commissioner Kavanaugh, Commissioner Oden,
Yes.
Commissioner Beaker.
Yes.
With there being no more old business to bring before the commission, I'm going to start with our new business, which will be our division reports, and we will begin with our Utility Services Division Director, and the report will be presented by Mr. Darrell Baker.
I'll begin with the Consumer Services Report, electric and gas inquiries for the month of April. There were a reduced number of inquiries from all the utilities for the month of April compared to the month of March. As a matter of fact, it was about a 50% reduction. So I won't go into those numbers unless you want me to, but suffice it to say they were reduced. Moving to telecommunication inquiries, basic service. We had one report involving an ILEC, 3 involving a CLEC, and 2 involving other telecommunication providers. So the total under PSC jurisdiction was 6. Moving to other retail services and issues, there were a total of 8 inquiries received, and none of them fall under our jurisdiction. 5 are internet service, 2 wireless, and 1 was cable TV. There were a total of 18 referred inquiries, those telecom companies that waived their complaint jurisdiction. And the total received was 32. If there's no questions, I'll move on to the gas agenda. This is a division report on rate RSE as of March 31st for both companies. And it's based on actual expenses through 31 March, and then budgeted revenues and expenses for the remainder of the rate year. For Spire, Alabama, the projected RSE return on average common equity for the rate year ending September 30 is 10.50%. That's within the range. Next one is Spire Gulf, and the projected RSE return on average common equity for the rate year ending September 30 is 9.70%, and that's below the range. But this is not a point of test, so there are no rate changes. If there's no questions, I'll move to the water agenda. Under wastewater, docket 32606, Pinnacle Wastewater Systems LLC. Every time a wastewater entity adds a new development, they have to add it to their certificate of financial viability. They have to expand their service area that's indicated there. So Pinnacle is trying to add Sunset Marina Community, and that's located on Lay Lake at Talladega County, and initially it provides sewer service for 15 planned condominiums. We recommend approval.
So moved.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
Commissioner Beaker.
Yes.
Moving to the telecommunications agenda, there are 3 items there that I'd like to present under one recommendation. Under interconnection agreements, docket U 5365, Butler Telephone Company, doing business as TDS Telecom, and Level 3 Communications LLC, and Oakman Telephone Company and Peoples Telephone Company, doing business as TDS Telecom. Under amended interconnection agreements, docket U 5271, Frontier Communications of the South LLC and Envoy LLC. Under miscellaneous, dockets 22281 and 26499, Securus Technologies LLC. This modifies their tariff to conform to the FCC's incarcerated calling services rules, the new rules on taxes and fees, and it also reduces the MoneyGram and Western Union payment processing fees from $5.95 to $4.95. We recommend approval for all 3.
So move.
Second.
Commissioner Kavanaugh.
Yes.
Commissioner Oden.
Yes.
Commissioner Beaker.
Yes.
This concludes all the new business of the Utility Services Division for the Commission today.
Thank you. Next, we have our Gas Pipeline and Safety Division, and it will be presented by Mr. Wallace Jones, our Division Director.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Mr. Speaker, glad to have you back.
Thank you, sir.
You have before you the agenda for the Gas Pipeline Safety Division dated April 27th. And this is the for March activities for the Gas Pipeline Safety Division. We had a total of 46 inspections during the month, and from those 46, we had 6 enforcement letters of notification, 22 non-compliance issues, and we had 8 non-compliance issues that were corrected during the month of March. We had 1 incident that was state reportable during the month of March. We had a contractor damaged service line in Tuskegee. The contract locator was unable to mark it, and we are investigating as to why he was not and checking his qualifications to see if he needs to be retrained or whatever. We had 1 operator contractor training session in Leak City. We had 25 personnel that were qualified there that day. The staff of the GPS division participated in, it was a virtual Alabama Natural Gas Association spring seminar on March 2nd through the 3rd, and I gave a presentation on update on federal regulations and update on GPS rules. Mr. Daniel Trapp, one of our pipeline safety investigation supervisors, is participating in a joint National Association of Pipeline Safety Representatives, or NAPSR, and PHMSA distribution team. They are meeting monthly and working on a lot of new regulations and looking at old existing regulations, see if any changes need to be made. And I also participated in the grant allocation committee with PHMSA and NAPSR during March, and this was to determine the eligibility of the states and other people, other entities for the one-call grants and state damage prevention grants. We got that completed on during the month of March. So, without any questions, that's my report.
Thank you. Next, we have our Utility Enforcement Division, and our Administrative Law Judge, Scott Morris, who is our acting director, will be presenting for the Utility Enforcement Division.
Thank you, Madam President, Commissioners. Good morning.
Morning.
I have a few things I'd like to go over here. I'm not going to read through all of this, but rail safety has, getting back to, a more normal level of activities as the various restrictions are coming off. They're out doing lots of inspections. A couple things I did want to highlight, a couple of incidents that were reported to the National Response Center in March. One, there was a small dicyclopentadine release on the Norfolk Southern line in Irondale. That chemical compound is used like in resins, inks, paint thinners, those sorts of things. It's an irritant to the eyes and the lungs if inhaled. So it's not a major, not like chlorine gas or anything like that, but it is something obviously that caused some concern. And also, unfortunately, I guess what you probably see these every month, there were 2 trespassers were struck by a CSX train in Athens with fatal injuries. Moving on to the motor carrier services section, again, our activity does seem to be picking up somewhat. Last year was a tough year, particularly for the passenger transportation industry. I don't know that we've fully seen the devastation yet, impacts that the pandemic has caused on that particular industry, but we are beginning to see some increased activities there. Reporting on UCR, at this point, I believe in March, we did receive our final payment for the 2021 registration year. We've already hit our cap, so that's good news. From the UCR board front, we have 6 UCR board positions up for reappointment or new appointments this year. 5 of those are representatives of the motor carrier industry, various aspects, and we have actually 2 of our longtime board members are retiring. Bob Pitcher from the American Trucking Associations and Rick Schweitzer representing the passenger transportation industry. He was with the representative of the bus lines. And also, we had an early retirement from one of our state representatives, Miss Sandy Bowling of Indiana, who was really instrumental in setting up this program back at its inception back in 2007. She has retired from the state. And so those positions, nominations have been made to Secretary Buttigieg at the Department of Transportation, and we're hoping for some rapid action on that to get some new board members appointed. And also, I'd like to report that at the April meeting, the board did send forth my nomination as the new vice chair of the board, replacing Mr. Pitcher. So hopefully we'll get some action on that as well. UCR is, in terms of our board meetings, we've been virtual now for a little over a year, but we are starting to meet in person again. We're having our board leadership meeting with our outside contractors and management team in a couple of weeks in Boston. It'll be our first in-person meeting in a little over a year. And we hope to get back to in-person meetings of the board in the fall and early winter. Field services, we are out doing our inspections of the wastewater and the water facilities. And hopefully soon, Alabama Power will be increasing their in-person activities, and hopefully we'll be able to get back into inspecting their facilities as well. Pending any questions about this report, this concludes my presentation at this time, but I will be back in a few minutes.
Thank you. Next, we have our Electricity Policy Division presented by Mr. John Free, Division Director, and Ms. Patricia Smith, our Public Utility Analyst Manager.
morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
You have before you the Electricity Policy Division's agenda dated April 27th, 2021. Ms. Patricia Smith will present the division's normal monthly update on rates RSE and ECR for Alabama Power Company.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
The first item on our agenda is the division's monthly report on rates RSE and ECR in dockets 18117, 18416, and 18148. Regarding rate RSE, the staff performed its monthly examination of the books and records of Alabama Power Company and determined the reprojected weighted return on average retail common equity was 6.48% for the 12 months ended December 31, 2021. This return is based on 3 months of actual data for January through March 2021 and 9 months of budget data for April through December 2021. For rate ECR, the staff performed the regular monthly review of Alabama Power's energy costs for the month of March 2021 and determined an under-recovery of approximately $11.45 million. Commissioners, this completes our report on rates RSE and ECR.
Thank you.
Commissioners, as well, we do not have any additional docket items this month, so this does complete our report. Pending any questions you have, that's it.
Thank you all. Appreciate it. And next we have our legal division is presented by Commission Hearing Officers Sue Ellen Young and Luke Bentley, followed by our Administrative Law Judge Scott Morris and our Executive Director, Mr. John Garner.
Morning.
Morning.
I'm going to take both of my items together as they both involve petitions for reinstatement. The first one is docket C 19958. It's a petition of George S. White, DBA Sammy White Trucking of Wetumpka, Alabama, for reinstatement of Motor Carrier Certificate F302, which was revoked due to the petitioner's failure to maintain proper proof of liability and cargo insurance coverage. The other one is docket C 19953, which is the petition of Murray's Garage, Inc. of Leeds, Alabama, for a reinstatement of their certificate F3951, which was revoked also due to their failure to maintain proper proof of cargo insurance coverage. I recommend a grant of both petitions for reinstatement.
So move.
Second.
Commissioner Kavanaugh,
Yes.
Commissioner Oden,
Yes.
Commissioner Biko.
Yes.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Morning, Commissioners.
Good
Morning.
morning.
All right, I have 5 items on the agenda. 1 is a telecom and 4 are motor carrier items. So I'm going to do the telecom first and then do the 4 motor carrier ones together. First item is under docket 33111. It's the application of Cathect Communications, Inc. of Cummings, Georgia, for a certificate to provide telecommunications service in the state of Alabama. The hearing was held on April 13th, 2021, in which commission staff participated. I recommend a grant of the certificate application.
So move.
Second.
Commissioner Kavanaugh,
Yes.
Commissioner Oden,
Yes.
Commissioner Biko.
Yes.
I'll take the next 4 motor carrier items together for one vote. Under docket C 19864, the petition of FMC Elite Trucking Services Company, LLC of Florence, Alabama, for reinstatement of motor carrier certificate F5119, which was revoked due to the petitioner's failure to maintain proper proof of liability and cargo insurance coverage. Under docket C 19961, petition of Kenneth Cartwright, doing business as Dependable Mobile Home Movers of Greenville, Alabama, for reinstatement of motor carrier certificate F2883, which was revoked due to the petitioner's failure to maintain proper proof of liability and cargo insurance coverage. Under docket C 19979, the petition of Ruan Transport Corporation of Des Moines, Iowa, for reinstatement of motor carrier certificate F259 and C3077, which were revoked due to the petitioner's failure to maintain proper proof of liability and cargo insurance coverage. And lastly, docket C 19976, the petition of Glenn Mack Pilkington, doing business as Pilkington Trucking of Aniana, Alabama, for reinstatement of motor carrier certificate F1227, which was revoked due to the petitioner's failure to maintain proper proof of cargo insurance coverage. And I recommend a grant of all these petitions.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Kavanaugh?
Yes.
Commissioner Oden?
Yes.
Commissioner Beaker?
Yes.
Thank you. Well, I'm back.
Oh, go
I have
back.
2 items, both motor carrier and routine, and so I will take those as one recommendation. Starting with docket 32465 and C18201. By order entered on April the 12th, 2021, ZMC Hauling LLC was granted a cancellation of motor carrier certificate F4322 in docket 32465. Cancellation of Cargo Self-Insurance Authority was also granted in docket C18201. ZMC notified the commission that their request for cancellation was in error and requested to suspend operations under motor carrier certificate F4322 for a period of 1 year. So we're recommending that we rescind the April 12th, 2021 order of cancellation in docket 32465 and C18201 and grant a 1-year suspension. Next is docket 31478, petition of Claude Hamilton, doing business as Hamilton Trucking of Greensboro, Alabama, to recommence operations under motor carrier certificate F4406. This certificate was suspended at the request of Hamilton Trucking for a period of 1 year by commission order dated January 11th, 2021. We recommend a grant of the request to recommence operations under motor carrier certificate F4406.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Kavanaugh?
Yes.
Commissioner Oden?
Yes.
Commissioner Beaker?
Yes.
Pending any questions, this concludes my presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Judge, do you have administrative items?
I do, Madam President. I will recommend approval of all the items on the administrative agenda that was circulated yesterday, and that consists entirely of all pending motor carrier matters. So again, the recommendation is approval.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Kavanaugh?
Yes.
Commissioner Oden?
Yes.
Commissioner Beaker?
Yes.
That's all I have, Madam President.
Thank you. Does anyone have any new business to bring before the commission at this time? With there being no more new business, let me remind you all in closing that our next regularly scheduled commission meeting is Tuesday, June the 9th of 2021. 2 quick reminders. Turn your phones back on and don't forget your mom or grandmom this weekend. And with that, we stand adjourned. Thank you.